played the intro. Oops, that's okay. But we'll just keep that a secret, guys. This little guy wants to crawl all over the place and attack the monitor. We cannot let that happen. Nope.
All right.
Welcome back.
There. Yeah. What's up? Okay, so sorry, did you start the pre-show?
Yeah, we're on pre-show.
Okay. Sorry, I was I filled the water
No, you're good,
and
brother.
everything.
You're good, brother.
So speaking of brothers, um, let me have you introduce this story for me. Have you followed the P320?
Of course.
And
The whole
yeah,
debacle,
so
yes.
can you explain to the audience what's going on with the SIG P320?
So there are some pretty well confirmed issues right now with the SIG P320, which is of course the U.S. Army's new handgun. That it has issues both with drop safety and it has a habit of going off in the holster, which there's a number of different reasons as to why it could be happening. A lot of people think it is because there is some sort of issue with the trigger grouping itself, where there's some sort of safety feature it doesn't have that a lot of other handguns have. The reason it doesn't have it is because it's a little bit cheaper to build that way. So, SIGs are now known for going off when dropped and going off in your holster, specifically your appendix holster, and blowing your balls off. And that is the story of the 320 as it stands right now.
So I'll introduce this as, I usually disregard most police department and military like complaining about NDs or negligent discharges on their firearms because they're usually just poorly trained
Exactly.
and don't know how to not have their shirt get tucked into a holster or how to not have their finger off the trigger or like,
Using it while
find
they're
some
drunk and beating their
miraculous
wife.
way. Yeah, find some miraculous way to like snag the trigger on the holster itself or stuff like that.
Yes.
That said, like the SIG P320 has like a fully preset trigger, so if without a trigger dingus to prevent it from only releasing the firing pin when the dingus is depressed, just the weight of the trigger when you drop the gun is enough to cause the firing pin or the striker, it's a striker fired gun, to go off. Now this and then there's other concerns about tolerances being quite bad
Loose.
in
Yeah.
certain components that like, yeah, it's if it's acceptably built, like sure, it's perfectly safe. Oh, he's like clawing at the microphone.
Yeah, it's listen, you
I
can't.
don't hear it that much. It's just cute. I just
No,
could
I know.
see.
You can't
Um,
stop the signal, buddy. I'm sorry.
so the and yeah, if there's like some bad heat conditions or maybe some humidity plus like some jostling, like you're holstering or reholstering or you just put some weird lateral forces on the trigger group, yeah, you can cause a discharge without ever touching the finger or touching the trigger or um like even dropping it, really. It's just like, yeah, I mean it's a plastic gun with a metal trigger frame and like it stretches and squeezes. So anyways, yeah, and you got a fully preset striker.
Yeah.
So anyways, I just got a text today from my brother. I was planning to meet up for lunch with him and he's like, hey,
Mm.
you wouldn't have to be interested in buying a P320 Legion from me. And I was
Really?
like, "Oh, that sounds cool, but wasn't really thinking about getting a new handgun at the moment, like as politely as possible."
Oh.
And then he's like, "Oh yeah, my agency, because he's a sheriff's deputy. my
Mm.
agency no longer is gonna remove them from the approved roster.
Oops.
And I'm like, yep, well,
Yeah,
um,
that's probably a good thing.
that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, man. Oh my
I don't
god.
know if he sold his other handguns, but he should have 2 or 3 handguns that are perfectly approved on the roster, including like old hammer fired Sig 226,
Mm-hmm.
um
226 is still a great handgun.
USP. Like
USP.
I know they're heavier than the P320 was, but just fucking carry carry your H&K or your metal Sig. Like
Mm-hmm.
it is okay. Yeah, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, speaking of threaded barrels,
Mm.
while we're on it, did you see the good news today in the
I
house?
did. That was one thing we were going to talk about. It looks like suppressors might, I'm not holding my breath, get taken off of the National Firearms Act and will no longer need to be registered or pay for tax stamps, which will be fantastic. I will have so many suppressors. Like the process
Oh,
through
the
which,
price is okay. The price is going to be high for like the first month
yeah.
because everybody's going to scoop up the existing stock, and then
Mm-hmm.
everybody's going to realize that it's a fucking muffler,
Yeah.
and they're basically in Europe they're treated as disposable devices
Mm-hmm.
that are like $30 to $50 that you use for a few hundred rounds.
What's like, it's interesting too because in Europe, if you don't use one, it's like, what's wrong with you? Like, it's a
Mhm.
safety feature.
Right. So, yeah, I it passed the House.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a reason it shouldn't go through the Senate. I don't know if there's like some Senate holdout who's like gonna freak out about it, but
I
I
mean, I guess, like I said, I'm not holding my
what's the
breath.
margin in the Senate?
Let's look it up. And of course, this is successfully distracting us from wherever the hell else is in the big, beautiful bill, or whatever he wants to call it.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, would I rather take suppressors being deregistered or deregulated over like what will be probably like a future, $10,000 of personal obligation of debt
Yeah.
just for this 1 year of spending alone?
Yeah.
Like
Let's see here. It's 2022. This is.
so on the wiki page, oh,
Hmm.
scoop.
Where?
Uh
What do you have to say about
Republicans
this?
got 53.
Oh, okay.
So
They should
they
be
can
able to
do
get.
it.
Yeah.
They can do it with 3 holdouts.
Well, I guess we'll see,
That's
man.
okay.
Like it would be sweet. It would definitely help for them for like the midterms. Like deregulating suppressors would go a long way, but like I'm just not holding my breath. I feel like it's also put on there to like as like a concession that can be chopped off if the Senate needs something. I feel like it's sacrificial in some way. I'm not. When it passes and Trump signs the bill and I can just walk into my local gun store and one suppressor, please, and just leave with it, then I'll believe it. But until then, I'm not holding my breath.
Well, I think the thing is that there'll still be firearms, so they'll just be 44-7 73
Oh
at
no,
that point.
that's a welcome trade. Like, of course, I still shouldn't have to do a 4473, but like, I'll happily do 2 minutes of paperwork. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Um I mean, like I was always like talking to anti-gunners like about like trades I would make
Mm-hmm.
for like gun regulation. I'm like, okay, we can have universal background checks, but I get short barrel rifles and
Exactly.
suppressors or
And
something
machine
like
guns
that.
and machine guns.
And, and
I
machine
want
guns, because yeah,
class
if you,
three.
don't, so it's like, yeah, it's like you said, it's probably distracting us from all the big beautiful spending in the big beautiful bill.
Oh, the debt is gonna be huge. Yeah, it's Well, I'm sure we'll find. What's the old classic line? We'll find out what's in the bill after we pass it.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. On that, I'm gonna fire up the intro, and we're officially gonna kick it off. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Altar, episode 175, where today we're going to be discussing a couple of things. One big thing we were just discussing was the possible deregulation of firearm suppressors. if the big, beautiful, bastardized spending bill gets passed through the Senate as it passed the House today. I was just discussing, and Max as well, that it would be cool, but we'll see what happens. Couple other things. What else? Yes. So it's been a long-standing joke that if there was some sort of immigration issue where white people were coming through across the border and seeking some sort of political asylum in the United States, that the left would suddenly about face and would no longer be the, oh, borders are just lines on a map individuals. And it looks like that happened exactly as was predicted. As I think it was 70,000 South Africans are being resettled in the United States, like they're honoring the claim for political asylum. And
Is it really that many? I
I
thought it
think
was like
so.
50 on the first, or like it was like 50 at first, but
The first
I
group
don't
I
know.
think was 50, but hang on. South African coming.
So
And then
yeah,
we'll have to. No, sorry, go ahead.
the Episcopal Church ended their official like partnership with the U.S. government to resettle refugees over this.
Yeah. Fucking
Which,
Episcopal Church, man.
if you needed more reasons to hate Episcopals,
Seriously. Oh, let's see. So yeah, the
yeah,
initial group
progressives
that
will gut your religion and then wear it like a skin suit.
seriously,
So
the initial group that came over was 59 people. In
mhm.
2025, a group of nearly 60 white South Africans are granted refugee status. Blah blah blah. At least 67,000 South Africans expressed interest in seeking refugee status in the U.S.
Wow. How?
So
What is the population breakdown in
let's
South
see.
Africa? Let me look that up.
South racial population breakdown.
So there's 62 million, 63 million people,
Mm-hmm.
and
Whites are 7.3%.
yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And the breakdown, I think, by percentage points in different groups or the different areas. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
wait, is this like historical data? I'm on Wikipedia.
Ah.
Is that where you're at?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Let me share this.
Yep.
Maybe the audience can share with us. So we've got the 1960 census. Okay, in 1960, this was the breakdown: 21.6%. Or okay, was this pre independence or whatever? Okay,
Possibly.
and then 1960, we're at 19%
Hmm.
white, coloreds at 9.4%. Okay, Indians at 3%. Um, and then we see census data. All right, so 20%.
11, 9, 10, 85, 8.7.
All right, so the modern census is uh what's that total
Four
percent of
million
South
two
Africa?
thousand nine hundred.
Wait, okay, this chart is okay, it's cut off on the right side. That's why I
Yeah.
couldn't read it. So now it's 9.6
Whew.
down to 8.9.
Eight.
Okay.
Yeah, steadily reducing. 7.3. Here we are.
So, anyways, I was just wondering, was as long as they had data,
Hmm.
um, what the breakdown was. But so what does what does that whole population look like? What is the percentage today, or what? Not percentage, but total number: 4.5 million.
Mm.
So, what that would break down to? Let me just think out loud. As far as states go, what states would you use to make up 4.5 million people as
Mm.
refugees if they were all account, which they won't? But um, what is? I kind of think okay, Utah's 3.5 million.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we could resettle them in Palestine. That's where we could send them. Surely that's
You
never
know,
been done
back in the
before.
day, apartheid South Africa and Israel were like buddy buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm.
um, okay, Colorado's 6 million, so that's like too many. I'm trying to find what population of U.S. states. I'm trying to. Let's rank them by pop. Okay, we're getting to
Iowa's 3.1.
Oregon or Kentucky.
Oklahoma.
Or
Oklahoma,
Kentucky.
4.4 million.
All right. Okay.
I think they do well in Oklahoma.
Well, oh, if we could trade one state worth of people for all the Boers.
I mean, we could keep some Oklahomans. Some Oklahomans are okay.
Joe Exotic.
Not who came to mind. Oh, wait. I would say we got two closer matches. We either have Louisiana or Kentucky. We've got Louisiana with 4,597,740, and then Kentucky with 4.588,372. So, here we go.
Okay.
There are actually a decent amount of. I've met people from South Africa, and I've actually met a couple of people who lived in Rhodesia when it was Rhodesia here in Utah, which is interesting. Because they just casually talk about what it was like living on like farms and like having people try to break into your house every night to kill you. Like after a while, we just had enough and moved. I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So about that press conference.
Oh yeah, gotta pull that up. Hang on. Can we turn the lights down?
Yeah, turn the lights down. I didn't really see that much of it.
I saw little bits and pieces.
Do you remember, as I do, perhaps Stefan Molyneux's breakdown on South Africa, his like extended 2-hour video on YouTube? He used to do these like video, not essays, but presentations about subjects and stuff like that. Did you ever watch those?
I've never watched those, but I'm familiar with them.
Oh, they used to get tens of millions of hits. That's why they had to ban them when COVID came around and stuff like that. And then he refuses to get back on like Twitter because he's like demands an apology. And it's like, bro, just like keep doing good work if you want to do good work. Like just get the message out. Like it doesn't matter that you are owed an apology from whatever.
Yeah. God, I'm trying to find a version of this. It's like chopped down a little bit so we don't have to sit through like an hour's worth of footage.
Yeah, I did not watch the whole thing. I just saw that like people were like live tweeting like what's going on, and then like he showed basically like the Twitter highlight reels of like here's like kill the Boer getting chanted and like the crosses next to the highway, and then he had like a bunch of printed. I love that Trump prints stuff out.
Yeah, he brings actual receipts to the conversation. Let me I think I might have this queued up to the right spot here, so let me pull this up. He's such a catty bitch. Like
I don't expect anything, to be honest. I really don't. I don't know. It's they've got a case. There's a lot of anger there, tremendous anger. I don't expect anything. We'll see what happens. We'll have a ruling, and who knows what the ruling is going to mean. Yeah.
On that subject of Gaza, Mr. President,
we're talking about Gaza, don't.
To what I've been saying, I would say if there was.
Parliament can do. We have thousands of stories talking.
The video is like so washed out.
Documentaries.
Of course, he wants to turn the lights down.
Stories. And is Natalie here?
Somebody
here to turn that?
I just skipped it.
I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would, and turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do, with or without you. People are going to occupy land. We require no permission.
He's like trying to smile. He's like, oh my God, you're really showing this right now?
Yeah.
We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. So whatever you want to do, we can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
He's like smiling.
Yeah, stress smiling.
I'm in severe pain right now.
He's like, ah, shit.
It's part of the revolutionary act. To kill.
Whoever's working the camera at Fox News needs to learn how to operate the brightness adjustment.
For real, man. Like,
It's so washed out. Like, what is going on?
it's yeah.
Trump is just like,
He's just sitting there like, yeah, it looks like exactly like what I talked about. Guy's like, oh fuck.
The man of D-Day in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man.
This is like the greatest Tumblr argument.
he's trying to dissociate. He checked
Oh,
his phone.
oh, there's the
'cause he's
paper.
so uncomfortable.
We're cutting the throat of white men.
Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the brewer. The farmer. Kill the brewer.
Oh, they fixed it. They fixed the saturation.
Finally.
Ah, they unfixed it. Come on, guys. Like,
It goes back. Hang on.
Shoot to kill. Yamasa. Kill the brewer. The farmer. Kill the brewer.
Well, that's not a good look.
you know, the thing is, he's giving him like a lot of time to think about a response.
Yeah. Dude's just like, ah, fuck.
I'm saying to you, was not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't ever see the picture.
Yeah, but I mean, you'd understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter. They freak out. It sounds like a genocide on
I can't take it.
Oh, I haven't heard this song.
Yep.
I don't know what are the lyrics supposed to be to it.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Now,
Okay.
This is very bad. These are burial sites.
Oh, that audio is awful. What is
Burial
happening?
sites
Yeah, why are you showing?
Over
Why you
1,000
include the audio from a
of
helicopter?
white farmers.
Yeah, man.
You just,
And those
you can just
cars
mute
are lined
it. It's
up
fine.
to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and
White thing.
there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't
He's so
driving.
uncomfortable.
They're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses.
Both sides of the road, you have white things.
So actually, I talked to a South African guy, an
Those people were all
Afrikaner,
killed.
Have they told you where that is?
like
Mr.
3 weeks
President?
ago. Oh wait, let's listen
I'd
to
like
his
know where that
response.
is, because this I've never seen.
You
There's-
say I've never seen.
Right after this, he brings out the sack of
It's in
documents.
South Africa, that's where.
I need to find out.
I like how he's got a model of an airplane just sitting in the Oval Office. Does he ever pick it up and just like run around with it?
I bet he does. This is the altitude I fly at when I make deals for America.
Those people.
Oh, here we go. Here come the receipts.
Oh, JD's there. JD's in his spot.
Yep.
Although, did he trade with Rubio? I thought Rubio was in Constantinople.
You know, what are you talking about? You know, you to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet.
Oh, the jet.
And it's a great thing. we're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment.
Succeeds in distracting Trump immediately after doing all this stuff.
You ought to go back to your studio at NBC because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated.
That's the
they
thing. Like
so
Trump just can't
terrible the way
resist
you
like
run that
defending
network.
himself.
And you're a
So
disgrace.
like
no more questions.
you can immediately attack him with some red herring, and then like he'll get distracted from whatever he was
Right,
just
talk
talking about.
His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet.
Quiet. Let's go.
Thank you very much, Steve.
What would you like President Ramaphosa to do about the situation
I
that we've
don't
just
know.
seen on the screen?
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death.
Sorry.
I don't know.
That,
To pick anyone.
I don't know.
Be a meme.
Could be
That
bad.
easily a meme
Death.
instantly.
Death. I don't know. Death.
And this is
Oh my God.
I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couple say that they were attacked violently.
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it is indeed true?
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial
Well,
sites
I could
all
do
over the
that.
place. These are all white farmers that are being buried.
Oh, that
And
was
he
the
asks us
one
about
that they
a
were like,
jet
oh,
that
that was a
given. You ought to
misattributed
be
photo,
ashamed.
but it's like a real
You
story,
know,
right?
Yeah,
so
I think.
You're such
Yeah,
a bad
and
reporter.
they so they get to claim like everything that happened was fake because they misattributed a photo, a single one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's just.
I mean, I'm genuinely curious to see how the South African president like responded to all that, because it's like, in what scenario is like a foreign leader ever used to getting sat down in the Oval Office and then having all the press present, and then the president's like, here, watch this video of all the horrible things like politicians in your country are saying and like doing, and then here's a bunch of news articles, and then
He's just gonna
he's
sit
like-
there.
he's just like, well, what? Yeah, I can't just like leave. It's not a closed doors meeting where you can be like, I agree with, like, he has to save face. I think that's the number one thing about doing this in front of like the press and everything like that. He has to save face. So that's why I'm most interested in how he's like going to respond to this.
Well, let's see.
So yeah, keep playing, please.
This is one after another. This family was wiped out. I'm just.
His little grimace.
Can we get a report from President Ramaphosa?
All these families just wiped out.
Well, I think the videos are so. No. When you look at the videos, I mean, how does it get worse? And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land. That's what. And I have other friends in South Africa. I have people that left. One in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land. They take your land and they kill you. It's okay, and they say it's okay to do. Now we're going to talk about it. But this is a tremendous look. This is a story recent. These are all people that recently got killed.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it can get any worse. These are and you know the men that you saw, the people that you saw in that movie, those are
So
officials.
like,
Those are
I was
people
talking to
that
the South
were
African guy.
in office.
Here,
They
we
had
can like mute it for a little minute while we wait for the South African president to talk. Although he might just let like Trump like ramble and, oh no, he's talking. He's talking.
Okay.
As soon as I wanted to say something.
Let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. and they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is quite...
Nothing happens to
There
them.
is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now
The
been
farmers
utilized...
are black. The farmers are not black. I don't
now-
say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their
They
loved
tell me.
ones that were
He
killed.
doesn't- he's not
Their
sure.
heads
Like he
chopped
probably
off.
had some like
They
one of like
died
Elon's like
violently.
younger staffers put together
And,
this like highlight
I
reel
mean,
for
we're here
them.
to talk about it, and I didn't
we
know
will
we'd get
talk.
involved here. But I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake,
So okay,
like
we shouldn't
NBC,
waste
which
like
is
the whole
fake,
episode on.
I was
this.
gonna
He's-
say,
he's
let's
trying to
keep going.
respond.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to respond, saying like, "Oh yeah, this is a constitutionally allowed. Like we have free speech in Africa. Like, and this party, there's a minor party. It's allowed for them to like have rallies and do this kind of stuff." And then it's just like, does it not compute that like, if you have a party that like openly calls for, race-based murder,
Yeah. Like
and then
if
you
there
have
was
a disproportionate amount of race-based murder, that like it's not worth, looking into.
like, could you imagine if there was some fringe wing of not even the Republican Party, but just like some small, almost libertarian-sized party of like radicalists who preached like going around and killing black people, or let's go with this, Hispanic people, like Mexicans, specifically individuals who've emigrated in from like somewhere in Central or South America, and they actually went around like targeting families and like killing them and trying to seize their assets and steal from them. It would be a huge fucking deal. I mean, people were just merely, and I don't mean that like it was a good thing or like it wasn't that big of a deal. People were merely just walking around places on the West Coast and punching Asian people, and it was a whole problem. And it really wasn't that many. Like, it was happening. It was bad. It shouldn't have been happening, but it was not that many people, and we all heard about it. So, if there was some sort of equivalent in the U.S. or like any European country for that matter, yeah, for the most part, any European country, it would never fly.
Well, to be fair to a lot of European countries, like, like the German government hates its own people is probably more than like
Yeah.
most, like the most extreme like Zionist party hates Germans or something like that. But I you don't have to quite imagine, because there was like, do you remember for like 2 or 3 weeks there was like a Stop Asian Hate
Yep.
campaign?
Yep.
And then everybody was like,
Oh,
wait,
who's doing
attacking
it?
Asians?
And then they
and
look
then the
and they're
campaign completely disappeared.
like, wait a minute. I thought we were about to get down to who was attacking all. Do you remember on YouTube a couple of years ago? I want to say more. Maybe it was probably on the better part of a decade. They released this video where like this woman rocked around New York City for like a couple of hours, and they had this rear-facing camera, and the idea was supposed to highlight the amount of cat calls a woman receives on a daily basis. And the footage was like, it was probably like 1 to 2 hours of just like various minorities yelling things at her. And like a lot of people were like, hey man, why is it that all of the people or a majority of the people in this video are POCs? And it was like, oh wait, hang on. We got to pull back here. Which is kind of...
Got to reassess.
That's like the same issue they're having with like police body cams. And I'm not saying police shouldn't wear body cams necessarily. Like there is a privacy issue definitely to be discussed. But for a while, body cams were like the big thing for advocates. They're like, oh, we need police to wear body cams so they'll be more accountable for their actions and we'll be able to tell when they're bullshitting, blah, blah, blah. And more often than not, body cams are actually used to justify police action. It's like...
Oh, no, that's the thing. Yeah, you like, as soon as the recordings like become consistent, like the amount of vindication, the amount of restraint that police officers have. I don't know if you follow, there's a couple good YouTube channels. One of my favorites though is Active Self-Protection. Do you ever watch them?
Nope.
No. Good subscription. They're a little inconsistent, but they do video breakdowns. A lot of it's CCTV, but like a lot of it's also body cam stuff. And especially whenever stuff goes viral, they'll like they tend to find like a story and then they'll back up and stuff like that. And yeah, like they do like legitimate firearms training and stuff like that too. So they're like you can go take their classes or whatever. I don't know exactly what's going on, but their YouTube channel is awesome because you just get to watch all these videos of people. I mean, sometimes there's happy endings and stuff like that. And sometimes there's like warnings where it's like, oh, you, especially for civilians, like a lack of, you know, I want to call it decisiveness of action is like what will land them taking what they call the room temperature count or the concrete challenge or whatever. But yeah, the amount of you'll see cops and you'll be like somebody comes running, slashing at them, and then they won't shoot until like they've already been stabbed twice.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I actually,
no,
so
just go for it.
Did you hear recently about the dude who brought a rifle into a gym in Las Vegas and shot some people and then got like killed by the police on the way out?
Oh yeah. So all I saw actually was the body cam footage of the guy.
Yeah,
well, no, and then I saw cell phone footage from like the parking lot.
Yeah,
but yeah, go ahead.
I got body cam footage of the cop who shot the dude, and I figured that'd be an interesting segue.
Well, okay, is it the full body cam footage? Because I think he does a it's euphemistically called an anchor shot. And they cut it off when the guy falls down.
Okay.
Not when he does the dead check.
Oh man.
But go ahead.
Okay.
The cell phone video shows you can hear him or you can see him point and hear it, but of course you don't see the dude.
Wait, let me back this up a little bit. We need some audio.
Body cam video shows the moment.
Oh, see, they stop it right there because that's where,
fuckers.
See.
Do we have any more here? No, they stop it, you bastards.
Yeah, they don't want to show a guy on the ground.
Investigate.
Yep.
Ah, losers.
They refuse.
Live leak, I miss you. Oh man.
No, but that's the thing is the thing is because it's on video, he might get. Well, okay, the coroner would also say like, "Hey, this shot was done while this guy was in a prone position with his belly on the ground."
Yeah, well.
And to that, I would say
neutralize the threat.
He stopped shooting when the guy stopped being, manipulating the rifle on the ground. Right?
Yep.
So, because a guy with a rifle on the ground who's been shot twice can still kill you. So there you go. But well, hopefully he doesn't catch any flack for that one.
No, yeah, that dude deserved to be put down. I'm looking for a good gunfight video, but there's like.
Well, okay, we're gonna get our channel flagged as
all
mature
right.
if we do this.
Yeah, all right.
And we're gonna have to fight some restrictions and bans and crap like that.
We're gonna have to do PSA about gun violence. What else? We were going to talk about another big news article. Biden has prostate cancer or prostate cancer.
I would like my prostate removed, but
yeah,
there's some things that I think it does for me.
There's a couple things.
You got to live in the world that you are, not the world you want to be in.
Exactly. From what it's being reported to, it's like really, really aggressive and advanced, like already metastasized into his bones, meaning that he has had this for a while, and they knew about it.
Well, okay, so there's conflicting info because it's like, oh, if you're over a certain age, like they recommend not testing for prostate cancer anymore because it's like you have it and you'll die from something else first because it takes so long to develop. But the fact that like obviously it's gotten into his bones and it has developed, like he's the president and they were doing these medical exams yearly, at least the physical parts, maybe not the mental parts. But yeah, they knew for a long time. Was the plan for him to run and then get into office and then die 8 months later, and then Kamala's first black female president?
That was the plan. I mean, they were talking about that all election season, essentially, that was going to be the plan until Biden was forced to resign because his mental state just could not be hidden any longer. So, like, the depth of what exactly they were concealing from everyone it's a lot. Like, physically, really bad cancer, mentally gone, like, just they were just using his body to batter the gates down.
I'm surprised they thought he was a good, grog.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Grand.
Because Grand. How they thought they could get him past the finish line. Like, the rules were not the same as 2020. It was not pandemic. You couldn't run a campaign from a studio in your apartment, in your basement, basically.
You couldn't give a speech to a parking lot full of empty Jeep Liberties. It just doesn't work.
And people could already notice that, like, when they went to sorry, my camera's like nothing but fuzz.
I was gonna say you're a blurry man today.
I'm a blurry man. What was I just thinking about though? You could already tell, like, in his campaign videos from 2020 that they were fucking like editing them. Like, it wasn't just like him giving and reading from a prompter in a basement with nobody around or like a bunch of producers and cameras that make everything look right and sound right. It was like literally cut and edited to cut out like pauses or him misspeaking so he can do a retake and all these other things. And you're like, oh my, okay, like he can't put a couple sentences together if you actually were paying attention to how they were cutting and editing everything.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, you feel bad for the guy because he's been it's just all elder abuse at a certain point. And like Trump released like a tweet the other day that was like, oh, like Biden would have never agreed to the stuff his administration did. He, like, you can look at his policies going back to like the 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s, and he was never this guy that like his administration ended up being.
Well, that's another big thing right
now. People are talking about like, is there going to be treason charges against like staffers who are using AutoPen?
Yeah,
like, making administrative, like, huge policy decisions that only the president can make.
Which will be I mean, now again, not holding my breath, but it's just like, it's interesting that is even being brought up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the odds are on the market for treason charges for White House staffers for using AutoPen to do pardons. They did notice that the only pardon that wasn't an exact match for the signature was Hunter's.
Mm-hmm.
It was a genuine signature from Joe.
Which would make sense that would be the one thing he would actually sign. Which in a way almost seems like they wanted to pin that on him.
They wanted one thing to stick.
Yeah, exactly. One thing, and that's it. I don't
know how they can vacate the pardons without charging somebody for something very extreme.
Yeah, I mean,
but
of course you have
what the process is supposed to be for vacating a forged presidential pardon.
Well, if you pay attention to what's been dropped in the Q sphere, they say they've got a bunch of arrests planned for July. I got that fresh from American Patriot 1776, who may be joining us tonight.
Ooh.
Stay tuned, Patriots. Couple more weeks.
Trust the plan.
Trust the plan.
It's in control.
MAGA. All right. God, I remember when Q started and that shit was like all over the place. And people that I normally otherwise respect very much were following that pretty intently. And I'm just like, guys, just no.
It feels good to be part of something special.
Yeah, it does. It really does, man.
That's how a lot of things operate. It's a multi-level marketing scheme.
Yeah, man.
Which is like the whole basis of like the modern economy, right? It's like just like a giant sales scam. Third worldification.
Yep.
Let's see what other items there are. Oh, Trump admin blocks Harvard from enrolling in international students, requires current foreign students to transfer or lose legal status.
You got to zero hedge before I did, you dog.
Yep.
Ooh,
here, I'll
my turn. Nuclear stock soar after report Trump to sign order streamlining reactor approvals.
Man, I should have gotten that nuclear science degree after.
Man, I should have invested in uranium. Oh, actually, I do have. Actually, no, I don't have any.
I did actually make some good money on uranium a few years ago.
I absolutely do not possess any uranium or plutonium physically in my possession. Not at all. No.
Rep Brian Donald says Doge cuts will be next after Trump's big beautiful bill fully passes. Oh, okay. So we have to pass the big spending bill and then we get the cuts. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
You'll hold the soccer ball this time.
Yeah, man. Hold it still.
Hold the football.
Hold the football. Oh, there was that activist, supposedly the left-wing activist, that shot 2 Israeli diplomats at an embassy today and killed them.
So the thing is, I don't think they were diplomats. Actually, I think they were. One
of them.
Oh,
it was a museum.
Yeah, it was like they're like grad student peace workers, who basically like, and it's like if he'd looked up who he was actually shooting, it's like, oh, they're like Israelis trying to like provide humanitarian aid to Gaza and stuff like that. And it's like,
yeah,
bro,
they're like fucking kids. They're like museum attendees, not attendees, attendants.
Yeah.
It's like if someone were to attack you because they don't believe in NASA because you host a planetarium. Like, that's horseshit.
But they like fucking like a flat earther tried to assassinate.
Oh my god, yeah, like Matt's brother hunts you down. My money's on you, dude. I'm sorry. Even though he's like a cop or something. Or is that a different brother?
I have no idea.
They're all the same.
I forget what Matt's siblings are doing. Anyways,
yeah.
Biden's physician Kevin O'Connor has been called in to testify the cover-up of about the cover-up of former president's cognitive decline led to the unauthorized use of auto pen to sign executive orders. The big beautiful bill includes $47 billion for border wall.
Oh, there was another big thing too. The Supreme Court decided this week they didn't exactly undo birthright citizenship, but they they ruled in favor of the Trump administration stripping some birthright citizenship from individuals who were like born to illegal aliens or tourists who gave birth in the U.S.
Yeah, so keep reading through Zero Hedge. I'm on Twitter looking up. The UK is considering chemical castration for sex offenders.
Oh.
Big turn for Keir Starmer here on the Labour Party. They figured out that all you have to do to win over all the right-wing base or populist base is slightly curtail immigration and slightly curtail child rape. House passes Trump's one big beautiful bill. That was 12 hours ago. FDA is requiring Pfizer and Moderna to expand the warnings on labels for their COVID-19 vaccines, include the risk of heart inflammation in adolescents and young men.
Ooh, oil prices dip on report of another potential OPEC supply boost. Price of oil right now is around $60 a barrel. Just in time for Memorial Day.
President Trump accuses Biden officials of treason at the highest level.
Ooh.
Quote. That's just his quote, but we'll see if his Justice Department comes in on these guys with the cover up and stuff. What else is good?
What?
I'm
also scanning the front page of the Epoch Times.
Oh, see, I don't really read them. Are they worth any time?
They're okay.
Those epochs.
They are very right wing.
Lawmaker. Like Buchanan types or what?
Like maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up Buchanan types just so I know exactly.
Pat Buchanan.
Hang on. What was his stance on China?
I honestly forget. He was a non-interventionist, though.
Okay.
He's basically Ron Paul on foreign policy.
Fair enough.
He was kind of a tariffs guy, though.
I wouldn't call them Pat Buchanan. They are. I mean, they talk about things other sites don't. They do run a lot of. What is that Chinese like opera that travels around? Chengyu, whatever it is. Shen Yun?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they have like a constant advertisement for Shen Yun running. And they're very big on like promoting anti-communist stuff in China, which like somebody should be doing that. That's fine, but let's see.
Let's check the chat. What's chat up to?
We've got JC telling us, "Hey,
and missile launch."
Yeah. What's up, boys? What's up? Oh, we actually had we've got 3 concurrent viewers, but we had 10 individual views this stream. That's not bad.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we usually sail up to 50 or so.
Yeah.
For most regular episodes, if we get a nice guest, we can do good numbers.
Absolutely. Yeah. Who haven't we had in a while that we should bring on?
I'm always game to chat with the Cybersmith. We had a couple of things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I would benefit from talking to Anarchy in Black again. He has been making some waves on Twitter recently. He might be too big for us at this point. I think that's his thing. He's like actually at the Mises Institute.
Well, that's true.
Guardian Crawler.
And I guess we wouldn't want to be bad press.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. But like being Haitian, and then do you follow Lord Miles at all?
I am familiar with Lord Miles, but I don't really do stuff.
Yeah, he was the guy that he goes on vacation to Afghanistan.
Yep.
And now he makes decent money, I think, importing Afghan rugs and memorabilia, which is quite fun. But he's planning to invade Haiti.
Ooh.
Have you heard about this?
I have kind of heard about that. He's going to hire mercenaries and just take over the capital.
Yeah, I think they were going to stage on an island.
An oil rig, maybe a series of oil rigs. They could connect with bridges and like.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is with Lord Miles. I've seen him. He posted videos of him like firing guns with the Taliban, and all the Taliban guys were like, "Holy shit! Like, stop flagging us and like keep your finger off the trigger and
fucking
like,
noob."
Other shit. like some illiterate, like, goat herder, like knows more about firearm safety than this British kid. Let's see.
See, if it was an American, we wouldn't have had this problem. If Lord Miles was born in Missouri, he would know what to do.
Car headlights have gotten absurdly bright, doubling in recent years, and it's dangerous for other people on the road, says Rep. Marjorie Gluskamp Perez.
Skill issue.
Headlights, somebody responds, headlights are only too bright because adaptive head beam forming lights that completely avoid other driver eyes are illegal in the US because of a technicality. If we allow manufacturers to sell headlights that sell everywhere else in the US, that would be a non-issue. The tech has been available for over a decade now. Yeah, I mean, I have adaptive headlights, so like I can, if I put it in auto mode and high beam, it'll automatically turn the high beams off whenever there's a bright reflection. Even if there's like a road sign that's too bright, it will turn them off.
Yeah, I have those too. Now that I'm
you
thinking
don't get
about
too
it.
much glare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think overall, like headlights are just like too high up on cars. At this
I
point.
feel like it's actually just a skill issue. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm also saying it is just a matter of you need to get good.
Okay.
I will say though is that like vehicles, I would agree, like headlights have been getting higher because vehicles have also kind of been getting higher, and also other vehicles at the same time have kind of been getting like smaller and more compact. So when somebody has like their little
I feel like that's almost not true. I think it's just people driving 20-year-old cars or even 10-year-old cars, like that are actual cars and sedans and stuff like that. Like your head is sitting at the height of like a truck's headlights.
That's true. That's very true.
And it's not even like if your brights are on or not. It's just like a truck's headlights are so high up. And it's because trucks are too big because of CAFE standards. Like if we could sell single cab trucks that could actually tow, that would be fine and they'd be small, but they have to make a truck like have a certain footprint plus like a certain internal capacity in order to justify the fuel economy that it gets because it can tow, 6,000 or 7,000 pounds or whatever.
I actually reminded me today, I was behind one of those little tiny trucks, the Kai trucks is the brand, I think. And this dude had it pretty like, he had it kind of riced out. Like it had like kind of like ricer tires and wheels and like a big fat fucking muffler. So it sounded kind of like a hairdryer. And there were these speed bumps. And they're really not like, they're not bad speed bumps, but I swear this thing was like so small. Like you could watch it when it hit it. It was literally like over the speed bump. It was so cute.
Well, okay, so K trucks, like KEI truck. Okay, yeah. So K trucks are, I mean, they're made by a lot of different brands. It's just a size factor.
Exactly. They're also not like the same kind of like thing we were just talking about, like a smaller truck with the same towing capacity.
It's not a 1990s Ford Ranger.
No, unfortunately.
But they are cool in their own respect. Like they're perfect, like as a replacement for like a small farm vehicle.
Yeah.
Like instead of getting an outboard like quad, like Polaris or whatever, like you get a K truck and you can get them all-wheel drive and stuff like that. And they got a huge bed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, any closing thoughts on Boers coming to the US or anything like that? Were you surprised to see that liberals were genuinely showing up to protest with signs at their arrival?
No, I was not surprised at all because it was long predicted. Long predicted. The signs were interpreted that SS battalions full of white liberal women would form overnight at the prospect of something like that, like Latino women or white Afrikaners or whatever have you. Like all of a sudden we're full. We can't take anymore. But if you're like a group of military age males from like Syria or Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever, sure, you can come on in.
Or
Colombia. Yeah, come on in. Here's some free shit.
If just a normal hairdresser from El Salvador that has tattoos all over their face.
Exactly. Yeah. Like that's the other thing too. Like they'll go to bat for like some dude who like beat his wife and got deported. But these people who like literally have done nothing other than just been white at like the wrong time and have to flee because of it are the problem. Okay. I see where our priorities are. Mm-hmm.
So, closing thoughts in general. What do we see next week?
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm sure some stuff will happen over Memorial Day. I guess we'll see if the bill goes through the Senate, what happens with that. I'm sure some stuff will happen. Some stuff always happens. The trick, though, like, we have to have a bye week at some point for something real big to happen, because if we meet regularly, the world is calm. The second we have a bye week or two, all of a sudden it's like the fucking Pope dies and like all this shit.
Yeah, we gotta keep it regular.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like we're dooming the world to a catastrophic event.
And on that note, perhaps we should actually start like a Patreon or something like that. And it's like you need to donate to us so that we can do this regularly, so that when we do, nothing happens. We are like the atomic signal that like all the clocks sync up to, and if we don't regularly go, shit.
This is the Altar Podcast. You come and watch the Altar Podcast so that nothing happens.
Yes, okay? Sacrifice your attention and money on the altar so that nothing happens to you. This is not a threat. This is just
just trying to appease the fates. Okay.
Yeah, man. Listen, we don't control this shit. Like you think we have the power, like, we have a bye week and the Pope dies. Do you think we could plan that? I turned in my keys to Mossad. I don't have those anymore. I can't orchestrate these things. No, I don't really. Like, I'm just, honestly, I'm excited to see, hopefully, suppressors become deregulated, because I will immediately fucking go out and buy an Obsidian 45.
Yeah, I want to get a 22 for my MP 22.
Yeah, man, I want to do that too. Like, when you get like yeah, blink, blink.
You know,
we my friends and I may have found that a Ruger Mark IV with the proper suppressor is totally hearing safe in an enclosed area like a garage, and absolutely will not on a busy summer night where fireworks are going off. You absolutely cannot tell a difference whatsoever. But, don't do that. Be safe.
The more you know.
The more you know. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for joining us again. 175 episodes. That's pretty fucking cool. We thank you for joining us as usual. We hope you stay safe. We hope you stay happy and healthy, and we hope you have a good Memorial Day. Have a beer for us, but of course, drink in moderation, and don't drink and drive unless it's cool, or you're trying to impress a girl. One of the two. That's okay. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, especially remember this weekend when you remember all of the people who sacrificed their lives in order to uphold the tax code. Remember that taxation is still theft.